The old locker in the hallway was creepy. It was dented and rusty. It growled every time someone walked by. Tunde, a brave and quirky student, decided to deal with it. He wasn't afraid, not much anyway. Tunde tried everything to stop the growling. He talked to it nicely. He played it soothing music. He even taped a smiley face to the locker door. Nothing worked. One day, Tunde brought a vacuum cleaner to school.
If there's a ghost in there, I'm gonna suck it right up.
He plugged it in and pointed the nozzle at the locker. Just then, the principal walked by. He raised an eyebrow.
Tunde, what exactly are you doing?
Tunde sighed.
Exorcism, sir, it's complicated. Jaden was struggling with his science project. He needed a partner. One night, he wished for one out loud. The next day, a pale boy with glowing green hair sat at his lab table. Hi, I'm Otto, your new lab partner.
Otto was a ghost. A helpful ghost, but still a ghost. He knew all the answers. He even made the Bunsen burner light with a snap of his fingers. Things got out of hand when Otto decided to help with the volcano experiment. He made it erupt for real, covering the classroom in baking soda and vinegar.
Otto! I said a little eruption. Sorry, I get carried away.
It was Friday night, and a group of students was stuck in detention. They were in the old library, a dusty and eerie place. Mr. Jones, the ancient janitor, watched over them. Mr. Jones always had a spooky vibe. He never spoke. He just stared with his cloudy blue eyes. Suddenly the lights flickered and went out. Screams filled the room. Then a faint glow appeared in the corner. It was Mr. Jones, but he was transparent and floating.
Boo!
The students were terrified. Then Mr. Jones chuckled.
Just kidding, I've always wanted to do that.
The lights flickered back on. Mr. Jones was sitting in his chair fast asleep. Had they imagined the whole thing? Prom night was supposed to be magical, but this year it was a disaster. It all started when Derek, the school heartbreaker, accidentally summoned a demon with an old spell book. He just wanted to make himself irresistible to girls. He got his wish, but with a terrifying twist. The demon summoned all of Derek's ex-girlfriends from the underworld. They were not happy. They chased Derek around the dance floor, seeking revenge for his broken promises. The gym was filled with screams, the smell of sulfur, and the sound of ghostly wailing. Let's just say, it wasn't the kind of romantic evening anyone had in mind.
Z had a secret. He could see ghosts. They followed him everywhere. They weren't scary, just lonely. He even had tea parties with them in his room. One day, Z's mom walked in on one of these tea parties. She screamed. There were 3 ghosts in her son's bedroom, sipping tea from flowery cups. Z's mom fainted. When she woke up, Z explained everything. To his surprise, his mom wasn't scared. She even baked cookies for the ghosts.
Chuckles. Here you go, some fresh cookies?
All the ghosts were happy except one. Bartholomew, a grumpy old ghost, refused to leave. He liked Z's mom's cooking too much. Bartholomew was starting to become a problem. He followed my mom everywhere, complaining about the lack of salt in her soup and the temperature of her tea. He even tried to haunt her dreams, which just gave her nightmares about talking vegetables.
One day, Z had an idea. He knew Bartholomew missed his old dog, Buster, so Z organized a seance. He wanted to reunite Bartholomew with his beloved pet.
The seance worked. Buster appeared, tail wagging. Bartholomew was overjoyed. He hugged Buster and said goodbye to my mom and me. Then he disappeared with a bark and a ghostly woof.
Graduation day arrived. The whole town was there, but so were the ghosts. They poured out of the school, ready to celebrate their freedom. The problem was, they were scaring everyone. The principal was in a panic. He didn't know what to do. Then, Tunde stepped forward. He had an idea. A crazy, brilliant idea. Tunde rallied his friends. They grabbed instruments from the music room, drums, trumpets, even a tuba. Then, they started to play. The music was loud and chaotic, but it had a strange effect on the ghosts. They started to dance. They formed a conga line and danced right back into the school. The graduation ceremony was saved, and Tunde, the boy with the vacuum cleaner, became a hero. The school auditorium was said to be haunted by the ghost of a former drama teacher, Miss Vivacious. She was known for her flamboyant performances and even more flamboyant feather boas. Legend had it that if you whispered her name 3 times in the dressing room, her ghostly laughter would echo through the theater. The school drama club naturally decided to test this legend. They snuck into the auditorium one night armed with flashlights and a healthy dose of skepticism. They huddled in the dusty dressing room whispering, "Miss Vivacious, Miss Vivacious, Miss Vivacious." Suddenly the lights flickered. A feather boa materialized out of thin air, wrapping itself around the head of the drama club president. And then, they heard it. A deep, throaty laugh that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The next day, the feather boa was gone. But the story of the haunted auditorium lived on. Northgate High's mascot was a fearsome Viking warrior named Bjorn. Legend had it that the statue of Bjorn, which stood proudly in the school lobby, was cursed. They said that if anyone touched Bjorn's axe, they would suffer a week of bad luck. Most students dismissed it as a silly superstition. But when the star basketball player Kevin scoffed at the curse and playfully spun Bjorn's axe before a big game, strange things started to happen. He tripped over his own feet, missed every shot, and even accidentally scored a basket for the opposing team. Needless to say, Kevin learned his lesson. From that day forward, he treated the legend of Bjorn's curse with the utmost respect, as did every other student at Northgate High.